All right, test, 1, 2. Here we go. Give me a second, get this going. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the Rainbow Trends weekly well-watched stream. It's your boy Runner. It's Thursday. We're going into the weekend. What's up, RJ? Let me get the desktop going. How are you guys doing today? All right, that's up. Testing chat. We got YouTube is live and X is live as well. So we're good. We're good. All right, give me 1 second. All right, let me pin that. Pin it to your profile. Good. All right, so we're good. Alerts out. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome. Like I said, stream is not intended to be used as financial advice. It's intended to be used as educational purposes only. If you're curious why any of our charts look this way or any of the users you see in the chat talk in kind of a weird terms, we're using Rainbow Theory, Rainbow Trends tools. And if you're interested, sign up today for $10 a month for the first month to give us a shot and cancel anytime from after the first month if it's for you. Stay on board and the prices go back to full price. But anyway, Wikipedia is online all the way. Definitely go check out our dog shelter stuff. I'm going to set up to do another run to there pretty soon, as well as all the tutorials have been updated. We have all the videos for every single tool. So all the people that have sitting there have had all these questions. I've put a bunch of your stuff in here and done the full write-up. So definitely go give those a shout and take a look through them. But moving on, let's get going. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me see. I don't think the chat on X works anymore with the restream stuff. But let me check. But as always, if you could do a like, comment, subscribe, retweet, all that, it helps out a lot with the algos. But glad you're here. Glad the prices are pumping. That's why you guys are here, right? Now, don't make the mistake of these 128,000 victims. Apparently, the world's biggest Bitcoin seizure happened. A Chinese woman, ZQ, convicted in the United Kingdom. Authorities seized 61,000 Bitcoin, worth $6.7 billion. Funds tied to a massive fraud that accounted to 128,000 victims. Now, if you run the numbers, say ChatGPT, what does that equate to? That's like 55 grand per victim. And that's like success. Like, these are the people that actually got money taken away from them, right? Dudes, that's a ton of Bitcoin. The last MicroStrategy's purchase from MicroStrategy was like 195 Bitcoin, which is just nuts. So imagine how many people like didn't fall for that scam, and then there's still 128,000. Even if you did that like 5 years, that's like 5 successful victims every single day for 5 years straight, which is just absurd. Just be careful. Don't come this far in these cycles to lose your Bitcoin to something like this. This is ridiculous. It's just breaks my heart. Maybe they can figure out how to send that money back, but I doubt they do. I don't know. If not, that's 61,000 Bitcoin the UK may have to sell off, which is going to be crazy. But yeah. Anywho, where are we at? Markets surged this week. I think S&P broke some all-time highs. It's been doing that for a while. But for the most part, we're doing really well. And for reference, I like this. This is a new style of charting. They're actually doing a Charizards for scale. So if you know what $120,000 Bitcoin looks like. Absolutely love that. I'm going to start doing these with some some obscure Pokemon, or maybe do some videos on the back. But anyway, where are we at this week? We are on the tail end of some of the craziest AI stuff we've ever seen. If you guys haven't seen the Sora 2 launch, it doesn't let you use like a lot of other figures, but apparently it just has free access to let you use actual Sam Altman's face. This is shockingly realistic. I feel bad for a lot of the generations that are we're just like my generation can tell some of this stuff is like fake. Some of it's getting really close to being really believable. Some of the stuff Sora's putting out, man, it looks crazy, and people are spending a lot of time on that. So I'm currently trying to get old Smashing Pumpkin videos remade with Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, and it's fighting me, not letting me use the real faces. So hopefully I can get around that with Sora 3 maybe, but I think it's overdue. But moving on. I want to go play with this. It's sick. I don't know what on earth I'll use it for, but like, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Like, I'm pretty sure the movie industry is like got to be scared shitless of this. Like, we're getting real close to people to be able to do text like vibe code prompting Sora 2 into making like their own Star Wars episodes, which is crazy to even think about. Hey, a new chat overlay on X, eh? What's up, Esk? Let me see. So I can see the YouTube chat. I can't see that did come through on Twitter, so I did see it. What's up, Esk? I don't think you can see the chats though if I go back, but anyway. Yeah, Esk has been helping me trying to get some of the Sora stuff done. Esk, by the way, I sent that over to Dime to see if he can do it. We'll see if it fights him. So anyway, big news this week. We're talking about overall where the markets are going. Long story short, the markets are looking at like going absolutely crazy. And it's going to start coming pretty soon. A few things I wanted to cover this stream. We are looking at liquidity. We are looking at options for Bitcoin. We have ETFs options. We have ETFs online. So we have flows like crazy. We have demands like crazy. We have CME looking to offer 24/7 trading. They're also talking about pushing stocks onto the blockchain, and then also making the stocks tradable 24/7. Crime season appears to be coming quickly, and the stars are kind of lining up for what we want as far as like an end of the cycle. Because if you're not familiar, we are kind of on the calendar of the end of cycle of things to come. But another thing with all this stuff getting geared up, we're also going into a thing where the banks are starting to fight each other, right? I say the fight each other. The banks are starting to fight the crypto exchanges. The people that try to offer you 0.1% APR in your high interest rate savings accounts are getting destroyed with other legit crypto exchanges giving you 4% back on your cash. So we've got to be careful. And this was a cool John Brown post that I popped up and wanted to share with you guys. And I think this is kind of a narrative because there's all these crypto exchanges are just absolutely pushing stables like I've never seen before. And this kind of brings it home. Beware of exchanges bundling stablecoins into single USD balance. You can be pretty sure they convert deposits to the highest yielding stablecoin, which is not necessarily the safest. I think what they're trying to do, and I think is where it's going to go, is they're going to bring stocks online to crypto on blockchain. That's happening. They're going to be trading on to 24/7. A lot of the funds that used to stock day trade are going to be pushed onto blockchain and be ran through the crypto exchanges rather than Wall Street, right? So I think this goes into a big aspect of these exchanges are going to be able to pull yields off of the stablecoin balances that have to be on the exchanges to do stocks. A lot of you degens sit there and just hodl Bitcoin for years and never sit in USD, which is totally fine. But these exchanges are gearing up to handle this liquidity on chain and then also get the yields off the chain. Whether the users get it, I don't know, or whether they pocket it, who knows? But it leaves to risk, right? They're going to be sitting there, hey, do I want the 2% on USDC, or they want to go to some crazier DeFi stablecoin leverages where it's like 20%? We don't really know yet. Hold on, Dime's messaging me. Yeah, same shit. It's not letting Sora do it. But this is Base, our guy Jesse Pollock, talking about ate a mooncake and launched XSGD on Base. Every country deserves their own currency on chain. So he's pushing the currencies getting pushed onto the blockchain as well. Reminder, it's Jesse. Who knows what he's doing? But I think you're going to see a move here. And And it's not necessarily how do we trade this? We're not, obviously we're going to long stable coins, right? No, just something to be aware of is the influx of cash that could come online as this plays out. We're talking about looking at minimum Mayer multiples for the Bitcoin, looking at like 200K this cycle. We need liquidity to do it, right? So we'll see. Moving on to the news, I've got a bunch of charts later on in the stream. Typically, the viewer count goes up over time, so I'm going to got a lot of the charts on the alt stuff that we're going to do later, but I wanted to walk through the news first for this one. But the SEC is considering allowing stocks to trade on-chain with plans to launch quickly, this information reports. They're actually going to be pulling Gary Gensler back in his SEC for burning evidence, and on top of that, they're also looking at bringing this stuff online, so it'll be cool. It might be. Dime, thank you. If I could subscribe, I would. If you guys don't know, Crypto Paradigm is actually the only official unendorsement of Rainbow Trends. So shout out, the one and the only. So as I said, the different crypto exchanges are talking about battling each other. Not really anymore. They're actually starting. I say exchanges. We're talking about decentralized here, but Hyperliquid, Athena, Aave were asked today who's their main competitor. Stowney said banks, Guy said USDC, Jeff says no, and we're building something that no one does. It really is kind of telling. The back end of this is they're talking about it's the stable coins and the banks, and I think that's still where this stuff is going to be going. But with that being said, liquidity is coming online through legal manners, but at the same time, you have to remember it's also crime season. Crime season is when we get the most parabolic moves. You guys are seeing this very small moves on Bitcoin. Frankly, we're not seeing many colors at all, and this is normally where I get hated messages like, hey, why is the Rainbow Trend stuff only showing like green candles? Well, it's because it's just chopping. This back and forth we've been seeing, and we're going to go through the charts pretty soon on Bitcoin in 5 tabs. We're actually getting some volatility now, but you guys really, really forget what Bitcoin's capable of. 30% drops in a single day, alt doing over 60%. People forget about those days, and they also forget about what it used to be like when Bitcoin went from 10,000 all the way up to 20,000 in like 9 days or something like that. So it could be getting stupid really, really soon, and the timelines are starting to run out of time. So we're going to take a look at all of that today. I'm glad you're here. And we'll move forward. So, as I said, crime season. Forbes claims that Barron Trump is now worth $150 million, and he's made it an $80 million from token sales with an additional $2.3 billion in locked-up tokens. I'm telling you now, guys, we need to make the generational wealth now with this current administration. Whether or not you're on whatever side of the aisle, money's money, and you need to realize there are things at play right now on this last 4-year term of the Trump administration that we need to take advantage of, especially in regards to taking profit, getting this stuff done, pushing it, right? Like there's just so many things are lining up. The regulatory is there. The SEC's losing cases. Coinbase's legal team is absolutely killing it. And this team is actually launching tokens and meme coins from the White House, which is just absurd. Speaking of that, crime season, let's check out the Trump token. Clearly down. Not safe, but maybe it's bottomed. I don't know. I'm not bullish on any of this stuff. Reminder, Melania is not doing great either. Great First Lady, but this is just down only. It reminds you of the old Rivian charts. But moving on, not going to spend too much time on that. We're clearly not memers, but check out PK79Z. This tweet actually caught my attention, and I read through it, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Is the Trump insider just opened up a 60 million Bitcoin short. He did this a few days ago when prices were way lower. And this short is actually on 94.8 leverage. I'm assuming they're dead at this point. And have been liquidated, but if you actually go look at this, apparently this whale that PK has been chasing, this guy opened up like a 50x long an hour before Trump's team admitted or announced that they were going to be doing the Bitcoin crypto reserve. The United States, I think it's crypto. It's not just Bitcoin, crypto reserve, which is pretty crazy. So they're like, hey, there's an insider that's potentially shorting. maybe chill out. Well, that guy made a bad mistake. So zoomed in, runner showing you, hey, what are we looking at? We're going to go automatically to the H4. Let me turn off the HMA real quick on the custom clouds tool. So we are looking here. Let me pull off the Mally prints, because as long as Mally's not in the chat, we can turn those off without getting him mad. I kid. But in general, H4 chart, red and greens. We haven't seen any real colors until since July. It's October. Welcome to Uptober, right? We actually started printing some blue cyans today, and we actually, before these closed, we had white RSIs on that candle at least, which is crazy. We haven't seen white RSI on Bitcoin in a long time. Now, it didn't close white, but you can see that's the previous all-time high on a white RSI candle, and then it free fell. So in general, whales can only push so far on these trends in a direction before they either hit resistance of like an order block, they hit resistance from RSI, or they start normally tagging into these reversion bands. One of these things is going to hit them. It's all about how fast they can go versus the distance they want to travel. If you're a short-term sprinter, you can go just a little bit, and then you have to kind of pull back down, right? You're the 100-meter dash guy. Or you can sit there and do a long-distance race and go to higher altitudes, but it takes you longer time, and then the corrections happen over longer time frames. It's just the way this stuff goes and the way this flows, and that's why the rainbow trend stuff can actually chase this, is we actually look at like what colors these guys print and what they're capable of. Here we saw an RSI top with a white RSI, which is our strongest RSI print. You can go check it in the Wikipedia tutorials for the color charts. But we almost got there and it slowed down a little bit, which is what we want to do. We have an order block here. This one's going to be in contention. This is the all-time high order block. No matter what happens, right? To be clear, above $125,000, we are in price discovery. There's a loaded order book here of people that have loaded sells here, whether or not they execute. But in general, there's going to be a lot of people doing that. It is hard to break through these to get to all-time high. It takes a lot of ass, and it takes a lot of whales to push that through. So, that being said, all hope was lost a few weeks ago. September, people were scared, saying it's over. What are you going to do the rest of your life? It's not doing well. We bounced off this, and then in Uptober, and right now, October 1st, right here, so far, we're up 6% in 2 days, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we're only like 4% away from an all-time high, which is a big deal and good deal, right? We're going into Q4, crypto's ripping, Bitcoin's ripping. These are things you want to see. These are not bearish things. We talked a lot about retesting last stream, saying, hey, what scares me as a rainbow dude, what scares me is the cycle over? And we went over a lot of that. And right now, that has been the king resistance order block for us right now is 108. 108 to like 104, right? And so far, we've hit it twice. And the second one held pretty well. And so while this is the higher daily looking time frame, and then this is the previous range we were on, and we did all the crazy stuff with the double creek jumps, go check the old streams. We got receipts. We did well. Jump through this, and then we're back up here. Now we're in a smaller time frame window where we're chopping. And in general, when your resistance starts getting tested as support, it really sucks to live through it and go through it, but it's actually like very bullish because you're setting a foundation here to launch the rocket ship, right? If you're going to launch something, you need really, really stable grounds, and that's what this stuff is, It's finding a bottom before we go, right? It's just how this stuff goes. Otherwise, this stuff would just go straight up all the time, straight back down. We'd have round trips to 200K to 100K all the time. People would be losing their minds, right? It's just the way this stuff goes. The whales don't let that happen. It's just the nature of like the economy. Like think of it like natural laws of physics. This stuff can't happen. So we're here, right? This is the smaller time frame. But if we can break through this, this is what we want. We want to get through this, chomp through it. It may take a few hits. Go above. If we go above, sometimes it just panics and goes, or we come through, we retest, and then go, right? That's what we're kind of looking for. That's what we want to go to. We've got Q4 is all we got left for this year, right? Then we got to go into 2026. Now, in the past, we've had crypto stuff where going into the January wasn't the best thing ever, but we're going to see. But liquidity-wise, check this stuff out. IBIT options, this is the least discussed, but the most significant marker structure shift of Bitcoin since the ETFs themselves. Not only did IBIT surpass Deribit, but options are now larger than futures by open interest. 47 cents of option contract per dollar in the IBIT AUM. These Mayer multiple targets we're looking at are freaking high. And I had to go to this chart because BLX isn't updated for some reason, so I'm back on the Bitcoin index and all my marks are gone. But in the general, we still look for the 2.0 standard deviation on the Mayer multiples to call an all-time high starting. This move here is quite a bit. 120K up to $211,000. Shoot, it's 210 now. Up to 9 is a 75% move. And you're going to need options on ETFs to do that. You're going to need a lot of stuff to push that stuff through. It's kind of crazy. And look at this. These are the automated pivots on the daily. They're just getting retested perfectly. What's up, Nexus? What's up, Phil? How are you guys? So that is where we're at. We've got till the end of the year to really, if we want to like do the OG 4-year cycle stuff, we really need to wrap this up by end of year, preferably November. But if November's so close to the end of the year, I'm okay with it going to the end of December. That being said, also, your normalcy window goes to May. Why? In May, Jerome Powell leaves. And your guy who's in control of your interest rates will walk out the door, and Trump will put in somebody who is likely going to put interest rates down to 1%. Now, initially, everyone says, "Hey, that's awesome. We want lower rates. The market will surge." And right now, that's kind of what the market's signaling. That's what everybody thinks. But the thing is, we have to remember, the S&P 500 has been printing all-time highs over and over again, with Jerome pushing high rates. So a quick pivot here could destabilize that setup, and we just need to be aware of it. Why do I care? What I'm saying is if we actually touch these 2.0 standard deviations inside this window, God forbid I actually talk about selling Bitcoin. Stuff I've held for years, right? Pay your house off, be debt-free, that type of stuff, or just get rid of your shit coins and move into like BTC or, God forbid, gold or silver, right? But things are going parabolic and things are going crazy. The stuff we used to laugh at, gold, is going absolutely bonkers. Gold is now $38.49 per ounce. Right? This is up only. Silver is starting to catch a bid. It's pushing as well. Silver's actually going really crazy. It's just metals are doing crazy. Copper's also starting to recover after that tariff announcement here. Frankly, the data infrastructures for like NVIDIA and stuff like that, I think copper is going to be huge demand. But moving on back to the 4-year cycle that I keep referencing, saying, hey, we're in the 4th year, we're in the Q4, we're in the final endings. Wake the F up. If you sleep through this, it will cost you a cycle. People don't care about calling the end when it's at the top. It just doesn't happen. And if you can see these colors, we are getting towards that color range, right? It's getting really close. We're about to start getting into the real big yellows. Now, if you want to look at timings basis off of the bottoms versus the all-time highs or the halvings, same thing. It's basically most of everything lines up to Q4 of this year, which we're in right now. So I don't want to say it's over, but I'm just saying is I'm very, very bullish going into Q4. And if we quickly do a 50-70% pump, like, I'm going to go get the title to my house and I'm not going to cry about it. And people are like, oh, I can tell you what, my paper hands smell like a title to my house. So it is what it is. Just trying to get you guys prepped because you will diamond hand this like you won't believe from 65K. It'll get to 50K and you're like, oh my God, I just needed to go back up to 60. Then it'll go all the way down to 20 and you'll be in a really, really bad place mentally and cost yourself a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't want to let go ever. And they definitely don't want to let go when it's parabolic, and it's really hard. But health checks on the system. We looked at the stock to flow. We looked at the 4-year cycles. We looked at the Mayer multiple. We looked at ungodly silver moves. We're going to go also check hash rate. Hash rate's printing all-time highs. It continues to go this. If we watch and see hash rate start to fall off, we need to start becoming more defensive and more guarded. Checking in on Ethereum, our number 2 crypto asset in the world. It's been chopping too. It's been really, really scary, and it actually dug itself out of the trenches with an inverted head and shoulder, which has been really impressive. So go Vitalik. We want this thing to rip. We want it to rise the tide of everything and lift all boats, which we were betting on that before, and it really didn't. So I really want to see some more out of this. But we actually saw a pink RSI, which is cool. But in general, if you don't see it, I'll draw it. There is your inverted head and shoulders with support and a rebound. It sucks, though. Most people put their stop losses in this like order block area. It blips below, zaps liquidity, tags that pivot below the main order block, and it popped back up. Now we're trying to get back up to all-time highs. So we shall see. Phil wants copper to 760. Of course. Like, copper has legit use cases. Gold does too in electronics, but like copper heavily has it. Now, this is looking good. Another one that's absolutely ripping finally is the Solana, which is cool. Because if we want to have alt season, I think Solana needs to come and party. Crazy top here that we had, full pullback. And I say full pullback. We went from we went back into this master order block, which has been the macro order block on Solana. I'll share this chart till the end of time until it's out of this. But since March of 2024, this has been the range. You buy bottoms, sell highs, right? Or do the opposite if you're into losing money, right? But it's gone through, almost hit this top order block, which is where those 2 really big deviations hit. I really thought these were gonna go. They didn't. Had this crazy. I mean, dude, this went from 295 to 115, and then all the way back up to 188, and eventually back up to 250. This is crazy, right? But big thing. We broke up. We started coming down. Liquidity sweep of this resistance order block. Now kind of showing support. We're going to get another shot at this. So we'll see. We're real close here, guys. If we get this, we're talking about having Bitcoin in price discovery, Ethereum close to price discovery, and Solana really close to getting into price discovery. And a lot of crazy stuff can happen. And we're getting into Q4. I don't know what the moon phases are doing, but we'll see. Something retrograde, I'm sure, but it's getting close. What we aren't seeing right now is Solana doing another creek, right? Which is cool. Maybe we'll see it, but so far, that liquidity sweep, I like it. Why do I like it? It's holding, right? I love resistance getting tested from above and becoming support. So if we flip all this stuff to support, we're talking about launching, right? And that's what we want to, that's really what we want to see. But anyway, thanks for all the people logging in. We broke 500 subscribers, so if you guys could click like, drop a comment, it helps out. Much love. Now, TradeFi wise, Trump is talking about growing ourselves out of the debt. We're not going to do cut spending. We've quickly lost appetite for the Doge style of spending cuts. That's kind of a dead thing. They're wanting to run it hot. So, maybe we do. Maybe we get 1% rates in May and we just keep trucking, right? Everything goes even crazier. And if that's the case, awesome. Hold on for dear life. And then get your stuff out. What up, 144? It's my favorite number. Moving on. President Trump says he is also considering $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus checks for all taxpayers. I'm not big on this. I don't like this, but we talk about running it hot. That loads a lot of people's pockets to head to the casino. All I'm saying. Comment dropped. What's up, Fletch? Oh, he's dropping comments. I read you, Fletch. What's up, dude? So yeah, liquidity is here. Fun stuff's here. S&P unofficially records biggest September percentage gains since 2010. Things are getting spicy. If you guys don't, I know a lot of people don't use the channel walker, but I want to show you this real quick. On macro, I say macro, on high time frames, The Channel Walker is kind of like a really easy to use Ichimoku cloud. And it gives you ideas of when these trends are live and when they're dead. A lot of people use like EMA ribbons or just multiple ENAs. You'll see this on like some of the old school Ethereum runs. It looks like this, and you just have price above the Channel Walker, and the Channel Walker will just sit there and go underneath it. And then as soon as there's a sign of weakness, we break into it, and then you have to look for downward targets. Right now, we're setting up another one. It's not as straight, but we are setting up another gigantic channel walk after this huge deviation. I've checked my 401k today, and the big chunk I did down here is now officially over 25% gains. So, very, very happy with that. Needless to say, because we talked about it for a while, and I only got about 33, probably about a third of exposure into it. I still had 2/3 cash in case all hell broke loose, because we were like, hey, this is the worst. I'm going to DCA into it, but I only got I got decent into it. I'll just put it that way. It's in the six figures, so I'm happy. But anyway, moving on. But yeah, that's a quick little tidbit of the Channel Walker. I'll show it on Ethereum real quick just because it's such a good reference. So that one. That was the old Channel Walk to like an all-time high, and you can see the Channel Walker just sitting there under it. And the instant we broke through, that was the time to just say goodbye. When I say like a while, that was February to March. That was over a month of just straight up, and it went from 2,300 to 4,000. So big run. But it can check your pulse, right? Like you don't want to ever sell up here. You're breaking through. It's time to cut your stuff and not catch feelings, right? So a lot of other stuff too, but you can do the pivots and the other stuff, or buy whites. Buy whites, sell pinks. It's the easy thing to do, right? But anyway, moving on. Jesse is trying to recruit the world, and he dropped this, and I still can't believe Coinbase is letting this guy manage this Twitter account, but he's looking around to see if there's anybody under 20 years old and on base. Raise your hand. He needs some new follows. And I absolutely love this. Bold comic. Bold Leonidas comes in. Free ice cream and candy if you're under 20s on base. He's right there, officer. If you guys don't know, Bold is sponsored by Kraken, so this is just beautiful. Kraken can meme. Coinbase cannot meme, and they really need to figure out their stuff. They have the funding to try to do all of the socials and stuff, but they continue to just not bring in the right talent, and it's really sucks. What's up, Slaw? I'm a huge fan of Bold. He's awesome. How much is he to subscribe? Daily hand. $4? That's cheap. That's cool. But yeah, he does a lot of cool stuff, and God, he's super fast. But yeah, Jesse's got to chill. He's sitting there. I don't know anybody in their right mind that posts that, and then also just talks about how Kias are Coinbase aligned, and he thinks base is you need to drive a Kia. I don't know. That's just, some of these engineers aren't people persons. All I can say. So, moving on, Coinbase, where are we at? I don't want anything to do with it other than the Coinbase card seems pretty cool. As cool as that Coinbase card is, I want something that doesn't look like a Coinbase card in public. I don't want my kneecaps broken. So maybe I build one, or maybe I buy one and then cut the RFID chip out of it and mount it into something else. I don't know. I wish they just had like an incognito one. Would be nice. But Coinbase, it did all this stuff, and I wanted nothing to do with it. It did print a white candle here, so like if you just want to do Rainbow Theory 101, buy whites, sell pinks, we're damn near to pinks, and those are the white candles. And if you did that, you'd be up 24% on spot. So congratulations. I'm just, Kraken IPO is supposed to be coming. If anybody knows in the chat when that's actually hitting, I don't know. Let me know. I'm interested. And by the way, we have a Kraken affiliate program with Rainbow Trends. So if you want a permanent discount on your subscription, go sign up and let us know. We'll go check it and then apply the discount permanently. So Gentile doing Gentile things, basically cracking me up because he's got a sense of humor that a lot of people don't have. He's saying Jane Goodall died and you guys are aping coins. Have some effing respect. That is high class, high level comedy. Now, looking at Rivian, I actually got to sell sold my Rivian this week for a whopping 5% gain. Which is nice because I sold it right before all this broke loose. So, this line here was my actual entry. I was messing around on this breakout after it was retested, and I was going for up here, and I was really wanting some pink candles in the reversion bands because if you go look at the reversion bands, and let me turn off the alert markers here. If those little boxes bother you, you can turn them off here, or if you want to turn them into like other icons, you can turn them into icons or letters, put whatever emoji you want in there, and it'll do it. Because we code stuff that matters. Previous runs on this, let me go for I'll just look at the daily candle because it's a little cleaner. In general, we pumped into these rev bands pretty hard every time. I was wanting another little higher, and we just didn't get there. I was wanting 17, didn't get. I saw the color rotations start to play out, and I just bailed around here. It was like 5% gain. So we'll see. Maybe it survives. A lot of stocks today pulled back pretty crazy. I say pretty crazy. They just kind of pulled back and it kind of sucked, but it's just, we'll see. The government's shut down right now. Who knows? It just is what it is. But anyway. Fletch with INTC. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, Intel had a really big news event today. They're going to be manufacturing not chips, but it's not CPUs. They're going to be manufacturing a piece of the chips or something for AMD, and this is right after the government announced that they were going to buy it. Congratulations again if you bought white candles and held it for pink. You're now up 75% on Intel. This is a crazy, crazy thing. Which is also cool is the former CEO is in profit. He bought there, according to TrendSpider, if you look at the insider trading platform, which is really cool. Shout out, Dan. Dan, please take the time. Drop the cheesy gordita crunch and go get yourself a vintage double-decker taco. They hit. They're really good. It's how you remember them in the 90s. They're amazing. So anyway, yeah, Intel's up. Intel's way up. I'm not touching that, to be honest. But honestly, I don't know. Intel, so I take a sigh and I take a deep breath and I say I don't know. I'm being real with you guys. I don't know how to trade companies that are getting like socialist buyout type stuff. Like Intel is now partially owned by the US government, right? And it teleported when that news hit, and now AMD's is going to be working with them, or was it Nvidia? Something I don't remember. It was either AMD or Nvidia, which is just an absolute titan, right? This is, I don't know, like I don't know. It's interesting. When I say I don't know, what I'm saying is this damn thing may go into the cyan bands and sustain it more than it should. Right now, it's pushing into the rev bands with pink candles, and it should be pulling back or at least going sideways to let this stuff stabilize before it goes up. But if the U.S. government is in it and they're making it work with other big tech companies and they're trying to pull off this AI infrastructure so you can get more skibbity toilet Sam Altman videos, maybe, right? It's going to be huge. What's up, Josh? Yeah, so yeah, I mean, if you look at this volume impulse, this is just that many cyan candles inside the split volume tool is nuts, really nuts. If you guys don't know that split volume tool adjusts over time, so it's not like you can just keep printing these. It will start kicking up you can see it right there. It's kicking up the threshold for cyan cyan volume prints. So I call that an impulse. We'll see. But yeah, Intel's nuts. Let me take a look at AMD real quick and do NVIDIA. I didn't have those charts up. I was late today. AMD's popping. You guys gotta remember, freaking Malifestro bought down here and sold like that freaking candle. Then it walked out of that channel walk. Just sick. Absolutely sick. Sold it right in that order block up here. I had it previously drawn, but I had it all removed for some reason. But still, in general, guys, when I see this and it breaks the channel, I don't mess with it for a while. I walk away and look for other stuff. I say look for other stuff. Looking at O'Reilly. Why am I looking at O'Reilly? I'm starting to think O'Reilly is my next stablecoin. Why do I say it's my next stablecoin? Let me just turn everything off real quick so you guys can look at this without any noise on it. O'Reilly averages, I think, I don't remember what the chat GPT told me, but in general, since like forever, O'Reilly averages like 3% a month over 20-year back testing history. So maybe I make my trades and then I just park the funds in O'Reilly and let it sit in O'Reilly. You guys, I mean, this is 2024 right here. Oh, it's not working. Let me get the right thing. Hashtag pro streamer. End of 2025, it was up 26%. And on average, I think it does like 20% a year over and over and over. And the worst absolute years, I think the down draw was like 35%. But you got to remember, that's like COVID, big bubble crashes, stuff like that. It just goes up and to the right. So, which is really interesting because I thought for sure tariffs were going to mess with O'Reilly. If you guys don't know, O'Reilly's an automotive parts store. O'Reilly's. Great jingle, whatever you call it. But a majority of their like parts are made in China. I was like, tariffs is going to destroy this company. It didn't do anything. Best Buy nuked, but O'Reilly didn't do anything. I was like, I can't explain this. But the Ponzi continues to go up, and this is a Josh Olswick's requested pitchfork. But like, that's COVID. And since then, it's just up. So maybe we get out of Bitcoin the Q4 into this year type stuff, and we just do this. We just sit in O'Reilly. And it's going to be the dumbest thing ever. And also, if you look at AutoZone, same thing. AutoZone is just straight up. But a single stock of AutoZone is $4,200. It's almost 1F per freaking thing. I'm on 3-day candles, so this is looking at like just decades. This is like mid-90s, and dude, it's just gone. So, short of like Nvidia and like Netflix and stuff, I can't find any stocks that has this consistent yearly gains. So, just take a look. Oh. Yeah, moving on. Another stock I'm playing with is GME, and unfortunately, I'm probably about to sell it. Oh, it says I may have lost. Is the stream still up? Let me know in the chat. Did we just lose connection? Let me see. Are we good? It's saying the chat's dead. We're not dropping frames, but the chat died. We still have you? All right, Fletch, we'll roll. Maybe we lost Twitter. I don't know. Twitter's acting really, really weird lately. Man, and Nikita, hear me out. I'm trying to use it. I'm trying to connect with it, but man, I know you guys are optimized for iOS, and I'm not going to do anything Steve Jobs related. Anyway, White Candle loaded up here again, and so far I've been going for the yin yang trade. What's a yin yang trade? You slam these candles into the reversion band, you try to get to the other reversion band, and we just barely touched it on the H4 candle. Thanks, Caleb. We just barely touched it, and I was wanting a little action in here, and I was going to sell and report some crazy P&Ls. Right now, I'm still way up. Whatever from this mid-range, I'm somewhere around here. I don't know exactly. But remember, this is an art stream. I was up 22%. I wanted some 25s for the clout, but it's I may be cutting this one a little soon if it acts weird later tomorrow. We'll see. So, moving on. Thanks again for all the support, guys. We're hitting like 16 concurrent viewers on YouTube, which is good. It's good. It's really hard to grow on YouTube. But blow up the chat, guys. If you guys sit there and start chatting in the YouTube channel, it puts the actual live stream in front of more people. So, breaking. Like I've said, this is not Barron. This is Eric. This is the other one that's inside the White House, know how deals are being made. Eric Trump says Q4 will be an unbelievable for your crypto bags. Now, I'm not so big on the Melania bags right now or the Trump bags, but he's saying Q4. And what does that mean? Alt season, right? What type of alt season? I kid you not. Zcash was the top 7-day mover on CoinMarketCap this week. Zcash. 150%. Guys, you know I like trading Zcash. I really do. It's not something I hodl, but maybe I should and it's too late. But dudes, this ain't right. This is sick. Something wrong with you. I don't know what, but this. I'm telling you, if this ain't a sign that we're in Q4 and it's like the end of times, bruh. Zcash. Phil's talking right. Phil, you are right. LTC might be. I have that as one of the slides. To give you guys an aspect of how absurd this is, Arthur Hayes is buying bags. So you see this volume impulse right here? We can't even see the red and green buy candles. That's how freaking big this buy wall was. And let me convert it to... Yeah, we're in USD. Each one of these candles on a single exchange, which is just Binance, that's like $60 billion in an H4 candle just on the buy side. This is absurd. It hasn't had volume in forever. Like, let me put this on dailies real quick. Oh, we're lagging out. We haven't had volume in forever. This is like 2021. Like, it's very absurd. Very weird. And all of a sudden, Barry Silbert's talking about it again. I'm like, dude, OG 2021 grayscale vibes, right? Liquidity's here. This is what Zcash looked like when Grayscale used to bully it. Grayscale private funds, I don't know why all of a sudden they would be waking up here, but it's something I have to check out. You guys know we talk about pinks and cyans. Zcash went through the cyan bands, dudes, and it's still printing pink candles on the H4. Whale markers are, whale cluster prints are everywhere. This is getting abused. Does anybody know what market cap it is right now? Coin market cap Zcat. Let me check. I've got it on the screen open. I got like 5 screens to do streams if you guys really don't want to know. Let me see. Fully devoted. Hold on. I'm sorry. That's. I'm looking. It took me to it took me to Bitcoin. I'm like 2.5 trillion. Fully. That sounds about right. Top 52 now on that pump. That's nuts. This is one of those things where if you weren't in position, I'm scared to touch it. I know Stacks wants me to short this thing. You have to respect the pump, my guy. This has not moved in years. Absolute years, and it just got slammed, and I don't know why. That's not Gainsey. Maybe it's Grayscale being stupid. I do not know. What's Riz, the Serbian whale? Maybe FTT. Oh, FTT. I didn't do that. I doubt it, though. FTT is effed, and Alameda still have those bags, but it is getting a little blipped. But I bring this back up. 2021, private funds, Grayscale. They had a bunch of really weird, obscure trusts, and this was kind of before ETFs and stuff, so this had some validity and was kind of legit. It really is, but I started thinking about like these baby coins. I say baby coins. These favorited coins of like Mr. Silbert himself. We're really talking about like, hey, if Zcash is pumping, one of the other weird things he likes is Zen. What's Zen doing? Because no one else talks about Zen except Silbert. Zen got destroyed too. Zen got completely full send. It's up 60% or so. Slamming pink candles, big volume impulse. And it's like, dude, is Silbert legit like back and messing around? Like, look at these well cluster prints, and then it goes up 50%. Shout out Pixa. We wouldn't have those that signal without Pixa shooting me some DMs. I'm like, hey, you ever notice that these well prints cluster together and then price sends? I was like, no, let me back test it and see if I can put an alert. And sure enough, but Zen and Zcash are going. Those are Barry Silbert loved coins. So then I'm like, all right, if we're really going to go down that path, I've got to look at Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic's another one that Silbert likes, which is another coin that is adverse. Like, don't look at that because that's not a wise investment. But if it is, if the grayscale OGs are pumping, you've got to go look at these. And like some of these are like legit, like Bitcoin, Chainlink, Decentralized. I mean, there's just Dogecoin, right? But there are some weird like Silbert pet projects. Not Silbert. And man, Ethereum Classic's got a well print here that hasn't popped yet. Maybe that's coming. If you really want to play this game, which I don't, you've got to look at Longing Filecoin, which I don't advise ever to trade Filecoin. It doesn't typically do well, but it's something to it really is something to look at because, man, I don't know. We don't have any well prints on that one yet. Ethereum Classic does have them. Filecoin. Litecoin already kind of sent. It didn't do pinks, but it did have like an inverted BART and it fully sent. So like Litecoin's pumping today too. What's up, Riz? I mean, there's not too many days you see Litecoin doing a 15% move. That's a lot for Litecoin, right? But I just don't know. Like, yeah, I'm not going to call like Solana Silbert's baby, but there were some odd ones that he just really, really liked and defended. Zcash was really the one. So it's like, man, is he really going to pump some other weird stuff? Let's look at Near and Optimism real quick. Near, nothing really. Optimism, USDT. If there's any others I'm missing, let me know in the chat and we'll take a look. But we're getting close to the end of the stream and we'll wrap up and go head into the onboarding, the fun times of the roundtable in the Discord. Go hang out there with the rest of the bros for the rest of the night. But yeah, dudes, this stuff does kind of scare me. But as long as Bitcoin keeps trying to go, I'm going to be super, super happy. In summary, if it comes down and does another freaking rollover but still bounces off there, we can still party. Just don't lose your wits. Ethereum's looking good. I think it's going to be really hard to get Ethereum over 5K and hold it, but once it does, maybe that'll be alt season party, so we'll see. But anyway, we'll keep it short. Let's go hang out in the Rainbow Trends Discord. Come on in. It's a free Discord. There's no paywalls or anything like that. The link's at the top. We're going to go hang out there the rest of the night. You're going to see a lot of the Rainbow Trends OGs posting charts, sharing their screens, taking questions from myself. Come hit us up. And likewise, if you guys can drop a comment, a like, subscribe, retweet, whatever on Twitter or YouTube, it goes a very long way. So much love, much appreciated. And I will see if I can do a stream next week, but we're going on a massive camping trip. So I might have to do it on Wednesday if I get to do it at all, but I doubt it. But we'll see. I'll try to come up with something. I will have Starlink on the beach. Maybe I'll do something dumb with Starlink. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Much love. Bye.